Hi, we're here with the Paisano, and I'm Wence.
And I'm Daniela Botello.
And today we're going to talk about the mental health services here at UTSA. So I'll start off with the formal introduction, I guess, or everything. So here it's called the Wellness 360 Counseling Center, and it provides short-term individual counseling, group counseling, and psychiatry as well. It also does provide 24-hour services through the phone, so basically a hotline here, just in case you cannot make it in-person appointments. So, do you want to start off with your thoughts on what it is to you or students here?
Yeah, so I definitely think that it is a very important thing to have, especially in a college environment. Ever since the COVID-19 pandemic, and maybe even before the COVID-19 pandemic, mental health in Generation Z has been a really substantial talking point as far as mental health services, needing more mental health services around different facilities, as well as different mental health cases starting to become more prevalent in society. It's something that, especially now as courses become harder and harder, it is definitely something that is necessary to have in a college environment.
I completely agree. In my freshman year, my second semester during spring, I definitely did attend two kind of in-person appointments. Just because I think around that time it was a little bit more difficult. I mean, freshman year, it's nerve-wracking. I'm finally learning how to be on my own, and the work is definitely different from high school. It's definitely a bit more overwhelming and everything. So I did attend, and it was very helpful. And I think that in some cases that people here, like both students and teachers, kind of misconcept that only people who are really, really struggling should go and see help, but it's like you could be having a horrible day, a horrible week, month, it doesn't matter. Just talking to somebody is so helpful, even if it's like you think your problem is not as big as other people's,
Definitely. And when you say someone could be having a bad week or a bad day, that can definitely have a snowball effect later in life. A bad day could turn into a bad week, which can turn into a bad month, and so on. So it's definitely something that's very important to have as a precautionary measure.
Yeah, and it can definitely escalate. And another thing that I think is kind of important is that here at UTSA, they only provide 8 sessions per semester. And it might vary in the summer since it's a little bit of a short term. I'm not sure what it is, but in the fall and spring, it's only 8 sessions worth, and they're only an hour long. Personally, from being there, the hour flies by like nothing. I really felt like I was talking to her for 20 minutes.
Really?
And I was walking out with a tissue and everything. It was definitely it felt like time was well spent, but also not really it was, I don't know, it didn't feel like I had more to say, I guess, in a sense of I had so much more to say, I was just opening up, and then she was like, oh, and your time's up, and then you only have 7 more sessions after this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's, I can see kind of why they have that, as far as, there's a lot of people on campus, but at that same time, only an hour per session and having only 8 sessions per semester, that's definitely, it's not the best amount to have, Some people could be really going through it and need just that 9th or that 10th session just to really kind of help them get along. And so limiting it to only 8 one-hour sessions is definitely something that could be worth doing an overhaul with.
Yeah, of course, because in retrospect, you're really only talking about 8 hours of your life or what you're going through in a span of 4 months. And that's just that's really troubling, because it's free to me, and yes, I don't pay for it and all that, but I mean you do, because it's in your tuition.
Definitely.
So in my brain, it's it's not really getting your money's worth, because I think people also, as well, students personally, overlook their mental health. It's very much ignored, and it's kind of neglected, and I don't think it should be like that, because if you feel like you're being neglected, your feelings are being neglected, then you're struggling already, You're not acknowledging your true issues, and that it's okay to seek help. Even if there are clubs as well, but I think the center itself, the wellness center, should probably I would say invest in like maybe like 2 more sessions. Like what's wrong with 10? You know,
Definitely.
make it more even, I guess.
Yeah, no, and with the way they are with parking,
Okay.
parking tickets and, charging up $200 for like a year pass, you would think that they would have the money to spend on that, but they really don't.
Yeah, and when it comes to like, back to like the Wellness 360, I think it's pretty easy. That's one thing they do. They make it easy to like set up appointments and, schedule, and you can even pick the counselor you like to talk to. So if you want like a male counselor or a female counselor, a certain time, certain day, you could always cancel and stuff. So you can either like call, which I think is the most effective personally, because that's how I did it. Because I think if you go through the website, it's a little bit more tricky because you have to like find certain tabs and then like find like the certain like register to go into it. It's a little bit more complicated through like the computer, but if you just call, it's like scheduling a like doctor's appointment, like anything else, and in the real world you just schedule something. So that's one plus side, is that it's definitely very easy to schedule an appointment with a counselor, and you can even change it, change your counselors. You can just like fluctuate or keep the same person. And that's it.
I'm Daniela Hinojosa.
And today we're going to talk about the mental health services here at UTSA. And to start off with, we're going to start off with the commuter's point of view.
So I'm a commuter here at UTSA, and when looking at the topic of the health services here, I kind of didn't know there were health services. I assumed, of course, every school has some type of, accommodations or things that will, for lack of better words, just places where students can go to for assistance, help outside of, academics. But I didn't know we actually had like a full-on service. Recently with what just happened at the apartments here at University Oaks and President Taylor's email blast that was sent out today, I actually saw the link on there where we could go to community services, and that's where I found it was, well, 360. Didn't even know it had a full name or like an official name.
Right.
And just without that, I guess, email, I wouldn't really know specifics about it. Upon like just pressing the link, I was able to get some more information and see like, oh, okay, we actually have, group counseling, individual, like they have programs they can set up, insurance, lots of things like that. Again, didn't know, and it like kind of exceeds the mental health. But just coming onto campus, going to class, maybe being at the library, going to a few other things on campus, I don't really see any like postings or things like that.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of a lack of information, I feel, that's readily available unless you're actively searching for it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the Wellness Center kind of promotes themselves only through email majority of the time, and to be realistic, students kind of skim through their emails a lot. If they see something that's from UTSA, they're gonna be like, okay, well, it's just press on it, skim it. Okay, if it's not relating, then it's whatever. They like disregard it a lot. And like a lot of students, like personally, I like skim through my emails, so I unfortunately am like one of the percentage of the people that do it. I feel like I was like, for mental awareness, like all of that, it should be definitely more like kind of like, how like we have the newspapers, they have like little postings, or even like have like a social media, because social media is like very, very, very important now. It's like literally all over the world. Even then, like maybe some people might be like, oh, maybe not because it's about mental health, but if it's about mental health, I think it should go into like the marketing places that will get them like, the recognition and like the awareness that students need, especially if you're a commuter as well. It's a little bit difficult to, balance between going, like you just go to school and then, what if you might like one day kind of struggling and you like need somewhere to go, but you don't even know, because you just saw it through email once, over one incident,
Yeah, and I just want to say you're better than me because sometimes I don't even skim. I'll literally just see the subject line and I'm like, has nothing to do with me. Not from a professor, not from someone in my class, not from anything I'm actively involved in, so I won't even fully open it.
Yeah.
So you're a lot better than me with that. But I think there's like easy ways for them to do it. Social media is definitely a big one, just because, especially if they put UTSA's name in their ad or anything like that, when someone goes to the search, it's a page that'll immediately pop up. But also like things I've seen that clubs and organizations on campus do is just like those little flyers, and they put them in like the restroom stalls with like a QR code. I feel like that's probably even maybe a more efficient way, just because it's a little bit more private. So if someone, you know, while they're doing their business sees that, maybe they'll be more inclined to kind of look at it. No one's around them. No one can tell them, hey, I need these services. Because, you know, for different people, mental health issues are something they don't like to broadcast. So maybe they don't want someone to see that they're following that or that they showed an interest in that. And this would be one way for them to just kind of do it behind a closed door, where they feel that maybe they're being judged or looked at for it.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Even then, I feel as though that the wellness center kind of does like a scheduled kind of when they send out information about it. I feel like it's at the beginning of the semester, like or like when an incident happens, or like halfway through. You know, they don't do it as often. I feel as they should. Because when I check my email every day, you know, and I skim it, but I never really see much of just like, it's like UTSA headlines, you know. But when it comes to mental health, it's a daily thing. So I feel as though it should be like a weekly thing, or like I don't know, like 10 times out of 1 month, you know, where they like kind of promote it again through like, you know, email, or like even like if some students have their number connected, you know, or even like how you said in the restrooms as well. I feel that their time with kind of like getting themselves out there like isn't really like effective.
Just small improvements, because again, like I feel like mental health is such a personal journey. So I mean, you don't gotta make a big show of it, but just like a QR code, a social media page, just some way that's a little bit more accessible than just through a link in our emails that probably 90% of students are just skimming, aren't like me, not even opening them.
Yeah, I think they're trying to reach like, you know, the technological side of it, but not like the right parts. But yeah, I agree. I think that's all we have for this session. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed it. Any last remarks?
Look at your emails. Look at your emails. They have links.
Yes. Look at your emails. That's it from the Paisano. Again, I'm Wence.
And I'm Daniela.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our other videos, as well as following our other platforms to keep up with exciting news.